I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up? Peoples? How you doing? Okay. So we have a return guest today, and I am just so excited to have him back. He is so smart. He's a doctor, but he's also an author. And you guys know how I feel about authors. They are the foundation of just learning. No author, we're all idiots. Might as well go home and not do anything, okay? But I'm just so excited to have him here and have him back. So Dr. Salar Khan, and I hope I said that right, is
Oh, yeah.
on the show today. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's pleasure to be
Uh,
here again.
definitely. It's been a minute. But you've written some books since I last talked to you. So tell me about your journey.
Yeah, my journey started in 2017 when I first wrote my first book. And that was, I imagine, at the age of 15 years when I was reading a fiction novel. And once I thought that I could be possible at a time in future, then I can write something book like this or anything else. And that was just impregnant into my subconscious mind.
Mm,
And after 1 2 weeks I start getting more energy, and I was not aware what is going on. And after that I noticed that I was interested more in reading and getting more education. And after 2 3 years I feel that my mind was telling me, you have already completed one book. I was surprised. And then I thought that, okay, when I will retire and I am going to write that book, and still I'm very busy and active career as a practicing doctor internationally, working in Saudi Arabia and Pakistan as associate professor medicine, and then come to the United States and then have a different jobs here also, and then working here as a research compliance officer. So all those things I learned through different organization, different hospital in my career. So I find myself that I am interested in leadership as
mm,
well as a physician. I was excellent doctor, excellent pulmonologist. I have experience in psychiatry also. In my medical career, practicing career, I treated and managed more than 100,000 patients, and 100 cases are very rare cases, and they are exemplary cases, and I never find in any literature anywhere those type of the cases which I manage. And I manage without doing any CT scan, any MRI or anything else. Just see the patient and I have an spot diagnosis, and I manage them. And
mm.
luckily everyone responding my treatment and my judgment. And that time I noticed that I have now the clinical intuition. My inner sensing is telling me, Salah, this is the case, this is the diagnosis, and you can do like that way. So that all examples the clinical intuition as a doctor, physician, pulmonologist, I wrote in my first book, Unlocking the Natural Born Leader's Ability.
Mm,
Yeah. And then the second book I wrote about, Am I Burnout at Work? And
right.
because as a physician, I noticed that one at that time, I was not aware about the terminology of the Am I Burnout, because I was in Saudi Arabia. At that time, there was no Google. So I don't know what is burnout. But I noticed that and diagnosed these patients. They are having some anxiety, some depression, and later on they are having a severe suicidal thought, and some committed suicide and everything like that one. And then I decided in 2019, when I was reading a newspaper and magazine, and they're telling that in the United States alone, more than 400 physicians committing suicide.
Mm,
And I work as a physician, and all those capacity, I feel very sorry about them. And
yeah.
then I decided to write that book. And then uh, I think nearly 1.5 or 2 years before, we have interview on that book with you also,
Yeah, that's right.
podcast. Yeah. So that's the second thing. And after that, in 2019 and 2020, I was thinking that one morning that we are approaching prior to the COVID. So approaching towards third world war, my instinct, my inner sense is telling there is something going to happen, because I was keeping track and follow up with the politics and everything. And I will just tell you, my journey in the politics is started 1970, when I was just about 12 13 14 years age. And my father first time brought the radio at that time, and it was not television at my home or anywhere. So ultimately, it was kept in my room, and I was studying and preparing for my high school to get into the medical college admission. And another story, very little bit shortly, I will tell you that once in that time, my father told me that, oh, there is no doctor in my family. Are you going to become a doctor for me and my family? I say, another challenge come to me, I will do it. And then I decided, and I changed my subjects in high school and getting into the biology and physics, chemistry, and all those things. And then I got admission. I was the top 10, top 13 in the medical, in the whole city of Karachi, Pakistan. And I got
Wow.
admission, and there was only 49 seats for the open merits admission for the medical college. I was the luckiest one, and I did very well, and I did residency and everything. So this is a little story why I'm telling here, because this is whole combination of the leadership as a doctor, as a burnout patient, and dealing and management. So that is going to help our listener and audience on the YouTube, this video, they can better understand that one person can think step by step and move forward. And then your success is there, because if you are confident and determined to achieve something in your career, in your life, you can do it. Nothing is impossible. And the title of my fourth book is, and then that's why after this appearance, I wrote my third book, Shaping the Future of Global Leadership, a self-care solution. So in that one, I just provide an introduction about the leadership and different definitions, and how we are going to train our leaders to become a good, honest, sincere leaders for the betterment of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a very good book. And then in that book, I suggested the independent global organization to take care of the credentialing of all our political leaders as the president and prime ministers in any country in the world, to make sure they are competent enough educationally, and understanding the culture and all other things for the other countries also, because they are going to meet uh, time to time with each other. So ultimately, if they do not understand their language or their understanding and their aptitude, how they are going to respond to your leadership qualities and abilities and world issues, and how much they have their knowledge, if there is anything deficient or something like that, it may create some type of conflict or dispute among the leaders, top leaders, because the all wars is fought by these leaders all over the world.
Yeah.
The public is not aware. Public once elected this public office leaders, and then they leave it alone for 4 or 5 years, and after that we don't know what they are doing it and how much they are capable of dealing and resolving the issues. So after this thought, I think that I will make more clarity to be a global leadership. And then I suggest the title myself, that global political leadership book.
Right. The
And the
global
public.
leadership and the
Yeah,
public. Yeah.
and the public. Why the public? Because I'm public. I'm not affiliated with any political party. I'm not a politician at all. And as a public, we are suffering with
Yeah.
all these world politics. And during last 100 years, you know that we have already two new world wars, and thousands and thousands people, millions and millions rather, we can say, killed
Yeah.
in that war, disabled. So it's all bad. And now we are approaching towards another war. So that's why I try to make it hurry to complete this book before the emergence of Third World War. It is my anticipation. Maybe people disagree with that. That is their thinking. But my thinking is, and then I want to have some preemptive action at the leadership level, their education and training. So ultimately, we are going to avoid Third World War.
Mm-hmm.
And in my anticipation, the full blown Third World War will be in 2025.
Wow.
Now, the base ground levels and everything is there. And you see, there is a lot of dispute, and a lot of other things are ongoing internationally among the politicians. And United Nations is unable to do anything, because they have
Yeah.
a veto power, and the top 6, 7 people, they have a veto power. If it is not in their interest, they go and do the veto, and nothing is resolved. And then I will tell you, in this book, I also mentioned that there is 150 dispute among the nation on the territorial ground, the
Mm.
land of each other country, they are having a dispute. And time to time, that dispute coming up, and then it become a flashpoint for the war. So we have
Wow.
to resolve, and nobody is thinking on those directions. They are just leaving alone. And then anytime they can provoke and initiate any issue, then it will start burning, and then they can spread the fear among the nation, among the countries, and the fear is stress at the public level. And then they start selling out their ammunition, drone, all um, weapons which killed each other. And then who is going to survive on this earth? Everybody is now, the most of the countries, they are fighting each other. They are having a nuke.
That's crazy. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, we're destroying the planet we're destroying
Nothing.
the land we're trying to take over, basically. It's like, okay, if I can't have it, nobody can kind of thing. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We have to erode their mind, because most of the politicians' mind is eroded. They are egoistic. They are selfish. They have a complex issues, and I'm 100% sure they are negative thinker. And that's why they are looking forward to damage the whole earth. And that's the only planet so far. We don't have anything else where we will go.
I know, right?
And so some politician may go into the moon or Mars, and they stay
Yeah,
there
let's see
one
how
month,
long that
2 months,
lasts.
and then the smoke of the nuke and everything is settled down on earth. Then they will come back, and then they will run the country again.
Nothing. They will run nothing. Nothing will be here.
No, they will satisfy their ego. Oh, I'm the conqueror of the whole land or earth. That's my anticipation. I'm sorry about that. Maybe it is going to hurt my audience of people what I'm talking about. But we face a lot of things, right? And
Yeah,
recently we faced the COVID also, and a lot of people among us not now alive because of the COVID,
yeah.
right? But we are lucky enough because of the scientific approach and everything. We got the vaccine and everything, and now today we are sitting and talking each other
Well,
after
now
getting so many.
the vaccine is in question too, because they're saying something about the vaccine on the medical front. And I'm
Mhm,
not sure exactly what they're saying, but there's some stuff going on about the vaccine boosters, not the
mhm.
vaccine itself, but the boosters, which are different than the actual vaccine and what they did in
Right.
the vaccine. So I'm not talking about the initial vaccine. I'm talking about the boosters that they were having. But hey, it is what it is. They did what they could, and they tried. And but this whole thing about the bombs and the nukes and the this and the that, I wish they would just stop. You want the land? I mean, literally, come on,
Take
y'all.
it.
It's
Take it.
like
I'm
it's
giving my
like
home
it's
also.
not even a line that's really drawn. It's like an imaginary line. Look, don't take it. Just let's share it. How about that? We're on the same planet. Let's share the
Yes.
land. You
Yes.
know?
And that's the bottom line, as you told. And then I wrote in my book, I suggested the so many options and so many solutions how we
Hmm.
can live together
Yeah.
for the common goal. We have to do the justice for each and every one. We have
Yes.
to respect the cultural values of the different people, different countries. We have to respect them because it is a part of world, and now the world is very shrink down to the very small. Everyone
Yeah.
is connected in a second, anywhere by
Yes.
iPhone and everything. So we have no distance at all.
No. No.
Right. So we can see everywhere, anywhere, and then we can go anywhere on earth and communicate with the people and everything. And it's a so beautiful land. It's a
Yes.
lovely thing. Every day sun is shining, birds are singing song, but our politician, they are saying war, 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 and damage each other. So this is the bad thing. And that's why in this book I try to tell them we want to educate. And
Hmm.
I want to educate at three levels.
Okay.
First level is the newborn baby.
Hmm.
So I want to educate the parents who are going to become father or mother for that baby, how they are going to take care of the baby. And then when the baby is in the uterus of the mother, so how the mother is having, what thing need to be do and what things not to be do, So ultimately, they don't want to damage or creating any anomalies because of some toxicity of the drug, alcohol, or anything else. And it
Right.
is a well-known fact. It is a well-known fact. And that baby born is going to be a cripple for the whole life.
Yeah.
And then again, it is going to be a socio-economic burden on the humanity, either any country, anywhere. They are
Mhm.
all human beings. We are also like them.
That's right.
So we have to take care for them also. And then again, the father and mother, they know how to create a favorable environment at home, friendly environment for the babies and kids. If there is a fight at home between husband and wife, so ultimately the newborn babies and early ages, 2, 4, 5 years babies, they are afraid what is going on. And ultimately their psychology is going to be changed, and
Mhm.
they develop the fear, anxiety and depression and so many things in future, and they are unable to make any decision or anything else. So that's a change reaction, one step
Mhm.
by one onward. And then in the book, I also mention about education and training, advanced level, the kids who are adulthood and they are mid-age group or something like that, how they are going to groom themselves, how they are going
Mhm.
to gain confidence, and what thing they do to become more confident, and
Right.
how they are going to find their hidden talent and potentials. And the
Mhm.
hidden talent and potential is very important. And it
Oh
is
yeah.
my belief, yeah, it is my belief that everybody born with a lot of hidden talent and potentials. We need to get involved into the complex issue and difficult issues, situations, and problem. So in
Mhm.
that way, our mind start exercising to find the way how we can get rid of that issue or problem.
Right.
And it is a continuous cycle for the whole life. And once anyone go through the process for 4, 5 years, decision making, risk management, and making all those things possible solutions, and then in future when another issue will come, then the mind start working very fast, and then your mind is going to suggest, our mind is going to suggest 4 or 5 or 3 different solutions for any issue.
Mhm.
And sometime what happened as general public, you notice that one, sometime you make some decision, and what happened after 1 minute or less than 1 minute, you say, oh, I changed my mind.
Yep.
Right? So anybody think about it, what is that?
Oh my
Why
God.
change? Before it was perfectly convinced what is going on. Oh yes, 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 yes. And then they just have a 2, 3 sip of water, and they say, no, no, I changed my mind, I don't need that solution, I
Yeah.
want that. And that is the reality, that is the reality. It is control at our superconscious level.
Mm.
I will just give a little bit, very simple. The book explain everything in a detail. So the first thing is the conscious mind, then pre-conscious, then conscious, and then superconscious. So most of the time we use our conscious mind. A lot of people, they are not aware about subconscious mind. It is in a imaginary levels, because I work very deep in my mind and wrote so many books, and I evaluated and invented a lot of leadership abilities and capabilities, because I went through the hardship, high pressure, high risk environment. I work all the time, a lot of hard working, and then it taught me how we can refine further.
Mhm.
Before I was doing something in 2 hours. After all those process, I was able to finish in 10 minutes
Mm.
because of the practice. Practice
Right.
make you perfect. And
Mhm.
when you are in practice, and then you go in that phase, and then you get a positive outcome of any issue, any problem, then what happened? Our mind become very happy. Oh, at least
Yes.
we resolve one issue, one problem, right?
Mhm.
And after that, here the people forget about that. The people think that, oh, somebody will give them money, award, reward. No, for me, it is not true. I am working for happiness in my heart. I feel happy from my bottom of heart, and I feel satisfactory. I don't care about what the people say, either they like it or dislike it. No, as far as I know, I committed, I finished this work and hardship, and I spend my time, I make my conclusion and my decision, and there are the results. Everybody is happy with the result. I am happy in my heart. And again, what happened? My body is going to release chemicals, and that chemicals give me enhancement, opening my eyes and brain and everything, and I become motivated and excited.
Mhm.
Sometimes if you achieve something, did you ever anyone feel how they feel at that moment after getting a good news for success? Immediately for next 10-15 minutes, the excitement level and uh, the situation in the mind is going to boost and think that, oh, I'm ready to go for another task, another difficult issues. I want to do it, right? So that thing is motivated you and developing the intrinsic motivation inside from the heart. And
Mm.
then it will keep you going one after one, and you are ready to accept the challenges. And then you start getting more pleasure in resolving the issues and challenges. And this
Yeah.
way, the life is going on. And then the people will say, yes, I am also going to be like that. I also want to do that one. So these things I want to create or cultivate into the general public people, young generations, and all those things.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
yeah, and then again, and another level. The thing is that it's not only the leadership, because for me, everyone is leader. Anyone making decision is a leader. You are
Mhm.
driving a car, when to stop, you know that one. So you are making decision, either stop or run through
Oh,
the
at your own
signal,
risk, right?
right? Yeah. So that is another decision making. And then
Mhm.
you know that how far from the signal, either you can go through the signal or not to avoid accident.
It was
Another
yellow.
decision.
It was yellow.
Yeah, but sometimes that yellow become red very
I
quickly.
know, but you don't see
And so,
that.
yes, we, we something when we stuck with the something else, we hit somebody else, then we know, oh, what
Yeah,
happened.
right. No, don't do that. No.
Yeah.
No.
So this is the this is the reality of the life. How to make the decision and how gain the confidence and
Mm,
all those things. And the bottom line is the hard work and try to find your hidden talent and
yeah.
potentials. And then I find my at least 23, 24 hidden talents
Mm,
in different areas. Before I was thinking that I cannot do it, but I have done it. When I get involved in the administration as a hospital director, director of medical services, chief of medicine, and all those things, before I never go through any business administration, master degree or anything else. And the hospital director, they told me in Saudi Arabia, we are making you on that position to do it and without any increase in salary. I said, no problem. At least I'm going to learn something new. And that's now today they paying me a lot because I learned the golden nuggets of this leadership, the bottom line, the base of leadership, because I work in that environment, high pressure and all those environment to make decision, risk management and patient care and all those things. So that's cost $1 billion profit to me. Although nothing in the hand is empty, but my heart is happy. I can do something as
I
a
hear
leader.
you.
Yeah,
I
and
hear you.
that's why I wrote this book. I want to give these tips through this book to our listener. If
Yeah.
somebody is interested, they can go for it. And I guarantee that one. If you are honest and sincere, your intention is good, you can get it in four,
That's
five
right.
years, 10 years, 6 years. If not, at least you try it. And then
Yeah.
the knowledge and education, whatever you will get in this things when you are working very deeply and hardship and everything, definitely we are learning something. And
Yeah,
we
definitely.
yeah, and we are getting better than anyone else. The
Yeah.
person who is refusing not to do because there is no charm for getting any money or anything else, no award, no reward, so they refuse. They can, oh, it's not my job. And
Right.
I never say in my life it is not my job. Everything I'm ready to do it, and then I learn it, and then I'm very happy. So
Mhm.
now I'm ready to teach our political leaders and all those things. And that's why I suggested in the book that independent global leadership organization, and that organization review the credentials and evaluate their credentials and see their caliber, what they are, top position they are working, and how they are confident decision making and all criteria. In my third book, I mentioned about the selection criteria by that organization. If
Mhm.
someone is looking forward to become a prime minister or president or in any CEO positions in the different supportive and administrative levels to improve the governance, so at least they can evaluate and they can learn so many things. And then there will be a continuing education program I suggested in my book under that organization, how they are going to train our leaders each year to keep them update about the leadership. And in this book, I provided so many common general knowledge to our leaders. Most of the time, the leaders, they don't know what is going on in the other part of the world or other countries. So they
Yeah.
know the total population of the other countries and geographical things and how many disputes are there, how many conflicts are there. So in that way, if they have a little knowledge about all subject area,
Right.
economics, sociology, psychology, and all those things. So in that way, they can be a better leader. And
Definitely.
right. And then if we know the background, we are sitting in a meeting in United Nations and with confidence, we can discuss with the other leaders. This is my view. This is your view. Now we are ready to compromise. At what
Right.
level you can come down and what level I will come down. And then we can make a common solution for the general public improvement and their life,
Yes.
remove the poverty and all those things to make everyone happy. And then if I say
Exactly.
everyone happy, the people say, oh, he's talking about socialism. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm not talking about social. Equality means that it is our responsibility. We have to spend money for the betterment of the public life, people life. That's my thing. And I don't think that this is a socialism or anything else. A lot of people, they are surviving below the poverty level. And United Nations, they are the one, they are suggesting the reports every year. They are releasing the data and all information. So the poverty is increasing. The cost of living is increasing. So we have to do something good, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, at least they can,
Definitely.
yeah, at least they can have able to eat once or twice a day. Otherwise, a lot of people, they don't have food. So,
Yeah.
and I can imagine myself under that situation, right?
Yeah,
So
I
if,
can.
yeah, so ultimately we have to do something like that. So that's the reason this book will provide overall education and all those informations and everything to make our land uh, for everyone to live together. And
Yeah.
then we must, all leaders must know the culture of other countries also. When
Yeah.
they start going there, some cultural, the people, they are talking. I'm telling, I belongs to Pakistan.
Mhm.
In our culture and our society, we are not allowed to have a eye contact with our senior people or our job leader or anyone. Anyone above me, I cannot talk with eye to eye contact. I have my eyes down and I can talk. This is our culture. And here
Wow.
internationally, eye contact is number one,
Yeah.
right? And
Yes,
they say,
definitely.
right. And then they say eye contact means confidence. If you are looking downward, it means you are not confident. If
I
you are,
mean, I don't know. It depends on the culture, right?
that's right. That's why I'm telling that we have to understand, right? If somebody is doing like that, they say, oh, this other country leader, he is looking downward, he's not making eye contact with me. It means either he is shy or he is not confident. No need to
Not
talk with him.
really. No, it
So it's a
it does it does depend on the, culture too. I
that's
mean,
right.
I know that, Japanese, Chinese, or Asian influence, they when they meet someone that's and they're elderly, they rub their feet or they kiss the feet. I mean,
They
so
respect, right?
right,
Yeah, that is their
right,
culture. They respect each other, right?
mhm,
And whatever they have their own traditional style,
right,
right? So we have to respect them,
exactly.
and we are not going to discredit them, right? Because they are looking down during the talk, and it means they are not confident and all
No,
those things like that. So maybe they are better than me. I am having a eye contact, but I am having nothing to say when I'm having a eye contact. So
yeah,
these
definitely,
things are tricky things. But the question is that we have to understand each other. So in that
definitely.
way, we are not going to create dispute or anything else. In
Mhm,
some time in United Nations meeting, when these top leaders are going there, some leaders are shy, depending upon their culture or anything, and they are under impression that, oh, these are the super leaders, they are the super what do you call, the topmost country in the world.
mhm,
And so it's hard for them to talk with them because they are everything, they are controlling the world and everything like that. And the younger, little smaller country people, they feel afraid
mm,
to talk, to contact or anything else. So there is a confidence building among the leaders also important.
Yeah.
And then some leaders avoid to shake hand. Why? Because they think that they cannot manage the talk or conversation with them. So they are hiding here and there in the meeting. If you will see next time when there is an United Nations meeting or anything else, a lot of countries leaders are here and there, they are scattered. They are not going to introduce with the other countries to to get familiar with each other.
Yeah.
And you know that when I'm talking with you, my second interview, I'm more confident to talk with you today
Yeah, I
as
see
compared
that.
to my to first interview, right?
I
And you are also,
know.
and then back of mind, you also know me very well, my personality, my attitude and behavior. You say, oh, Salar, we know each other, right?
Yes, we
That is your
do.
back of the mind. And now in that way, our approval of discussion approval level is very high.
Mhm.
I understand you, you understand me. We are talking in a very positive and constructive way. So we want to give us some positive thinking for
Yeah.
our people and young generation and everything. And the positive thinking is very important. And positive attitude, behavior, all these things are very important to deal the world issues.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so so this is all about all these books and everything. And
Right.
yeah,
Thank you. I was thinking too while you were talking, you said that there was over 20 things that you've developed, that you discovered that you could do. In this society today, they don't encourage people doing that many things. I mean, why that many things? And is it really truly a detriment to not encourage it?
the reason is that this says that having you say that master of nothing and jack of
Yeah.
all, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but this is wrong. The
Mhm.
question is that it is my life, my ideology, my character, my attitude, my behavior, my education, what I learned, and what I want to do it, right? And then I want to see how many things I can do perfectly. Perfectly in the sense above average or above the top level at least. So the people can appreciate all my positive work is visible among the
Mhm.
people, among the other institution and organizations. So they can recognize me that I am able to do and everything. And now I got these 20 hidden talents and abilities because I work in a different areas of the life.
Mhm.
And then I see how I can perform well. Because if my hidden talent is not there, my aptitude is not there, I feel bored. I'm not interested in that one. My performance is going to bag. Similarly, in certain subject, the students, some student like mathematics, some never. Some
Mhm.
like English, some like math, other subject. Like everybody is having a different thing. And some subject, some people are learning very fast.
Right.
So, so I indicate that this is a criteria of having a hidden talent. If you have a hidden talent for one specific mathematics subject, you are learning very quick, very fast, without any trouble. Your mind is working, quickly analyzing everything. But the other thing which you are not interested or you are not having any hidden knowledge or background or talent, because hidden talent and knowledge means everybody is born and the God has given everyone a knowledge.
Mhm.
Everybody is born with knowledge. And a lot
Right.
of countries, the people are illiterate, they never go to school or college, but they work as a prime minister and president and topmost positions. And we can see the prophets also, the Lord, Moses, he was educated.
Right. Yes,
Jesus,
definitely.
Jesus,
Yeah,
no
right?
school, no college, no. And then David, he was the king as well as he was also the prophet. And he was never go any school or college or anything else. So from where they got this knowledge? And they run their country and their territory very nicely. It
Their
means,
moms.
it means, it means the God has given everyone that hidden talent. And
Yes.
that is seated in our DNA, genetic material, deoxyribonucleic acid. And
Mm.
that having several proteins. And then we have billions and billions of DNA in the human body. And now the science and research is also telling that we can change our inheritance, whatever carry over in our gene protein.
Mm.
Yeah, and I mentioned about one research on monkeys. And Eric, he was the Nobel Prize winner in year 2000, and he was physician as well as he was physiologist. So he make um, a pulley for the monkeys. They selected young monkeys, and then they hang something on the ring or something, and then they have a whistle or something, and then they start running, and then hold that ring, the lever down, and then back and down and back. In the beginning, these monkeys, they feel very difficult to understand what to do and how to do it. Once they start doing 2, 3, 430, 40 times, and then they collected the data, which monkey is learning best in how many attempts. Some monkey learned in 4 or 5 attempts, and they have pulled the lever very correctly. It means they have a hidden talent and they use that one.
Mm.
The other one, 400 times they are doing it. It is just like our leadership. Every
Oh,
time they become elected, re-elected, reselected, they are not doing, they are doing the
oh
same thing.
gosh.
I'm sorry to say, this is
Yeah.
my interpretation because I am find my hidden talent and everything, so I know that one. In
Mm.
certain areas, really I'm not good. I try my best, but I cannot have enough confidence to deal with that situation. It is
Right.
my so I noticed that one also. But the other things, I'm very good. I'm very good in preparing the food. I can prepare more than 100 type of the foods without any
Wow.
recipe, and then different. I can make one dish of curry into the 20 different taste and varieties with the same
Mm.
ingredient, and just
Wow.
altering the little amount or steps of mixing, and the taste
Mhm.
and flavor is very different. So this is the talent. And then
Wow.
similarly, you see that the young babies and everyone, when they start practicing for the gymnastic, for the Olympics and all, you say that's 8, 9, 10 years when we are instant on watching how they are performing, how much their
Mhm.
body is flexible and doing all. This is all practice. It means their neurons and brain connections are so fast within a few seconds. They perform very well as compared to a non-practice person, new
That's
person.
right.
They cannot do very refinedly or very good way. So these are all things, and then we can having a lot of examples in surroundings in our life, and we can see that, and then we can teach and train them, and then we find somebody is very good in something, just do it that way, and then he will be topmost position in that area because he has a talent and it is coming out like that way.
Yes.
So that's the
Wow.
bottom line of the hidden talent, and to bring out to the surface and utilize it and do it. And somebody say, oh, why I will try to become a leader or anything. I'm not saying that to become a leader. Everybody become a leader who is going to do the other job, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
at least if you will try, so you can get something good. You know what is good about me. If somebody asks me, Salar, what is good about you? Right? I can say that, okay, I have more than 23 talent. I found myself and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can demonstrate. And I can demonstrate within a few seconds
Mhm.
without any effort, without thinking and attention on attention in that area at all. This it is a performance, and my
Wow.
body, mind, everything is work together. And I'm talking to somebody else, and I'm preparing the food and mixing 4, 5 different dishes together. And then I learned this. It is also very good. If why I got all those things, because in the beginning I worked in the kitchen with my mother at the age of 12 years, and then I was helping her and my father. So I got the organizational skill, and then I learned
Mhm.
the time management. How my mother is preparing 4, 5 different type of the foods in the kitchen for 6 people, and then
Right.
the time management is so good, and never anything is burned of the food or anything else. So that's time management I learned, and still I'm applying that time management in my life also. So my
Definitely.
time, yeah, so my time management is good, and I am very much disciplined, obedient, organized, and then I have intuition also, leadership intuition. I find my physician intuition as a doctor, the best doctor to treat and manage and diagnose the cases. My sixth sense intuition is working on that direction. So These things, if someone is going on and carry with them, definitely when they will sit into the bigger forum as a leader, they have a different vision as compared to ordinary other leaders.
Right.
And then they can bring out in the agenda of one issue, how to resolve territorial dispute of the world,
Mm.
and then make sure everyone sit there and it is in favor of them. And then in that way, every country will save a lot of money for arm, ammunition, or any bad thing to buy. So
Yeah.
that money can be used for school, college, training, education,
And the
and
homeless.
prosperity of the world.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
so this is the thing, and this is my message, because my aim for writing this book is that to train three people. One is young generation, newly born babies, what the parents want with them, they can do it by telling the stories and playing with them at younger age group and all those things. They have a good bonding and good understanding. And as you mentioned that before, if you have 7, 8 years with your kid at home and working together, the quality of the kid you can see in future after 10, 20, 15 years. That will be
Yeah.
definitely different as compared to the babies. They are growing up in the daycare center or other
Oh
center,
my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh,
right?
yes.
So,
Oh
so,
yeah.
and then the second group is a college student and everyone, they have a time management problem. They cannot make the decision. They are confused. They have a fear of failure. And they are not ready to take the responsibility as our leaders. They are afraid. If they take the responsibility, if something wrong, who is going to take care for them? They will be in
Right.
trouble. But they don't understand that without that, we cannot learn.
Right.
And then we have another alternative for that one. If we make, sometime we have to make the decision, either good or bad, right? Because
Yeah.
there is no data available. We cannot see behind the wall. But nowadays, science develops so many things, they can see behind the wall what is that. But as an ordinary human being, we don't. So ultimately, if we want to make decision today and now, how we are going to make that decision? And that's the point. And then in that way, your caliber, your intuitions, your leadership abilities will work to help you. And then in past, if you are facing that type of situation in the career and life, in that way, you can able to provide some answer and making decision for that time. And then if something goes wrong, you are vigilant, you are ready to accept mistake and correct it.
Hmm.
There is no harm to
Right.
accepting the mistake because it was mandatory to take the decision. And in that way, at the end, after 2 years, 3 years, that bad decision is going to help you in future to make the right decision
Hmm.
because your mind get trained
Right.
and the mind start thinking in a different dimensions.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have our memory card also in the brain. I mentioned about it. Each skill, I have my memory card. If any skill I want to use in my kitchen, my memory card come out in front of my eyes and say, okay, these are your mind steps, what you are preparing. Tack, 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 ready, done. And then I am writing a book. I start thinking that, okay, I'm writing like this. And in the memory card, the things are coming up. And then I start writing on my paper, my book.
Hmm.
In that way, and in that way, in my job and work also, in the same way, leadership role, there are so many issues, so many problems. And then I use my back 20 years before experience in administration and everything, something similar come today. I can use that previous data in my mind. What was my result? How I find the solution for that issue. And then definitely at this time, again, I make the decision. And
Yeah.
then it is correct and it is good for the organization. And that work, they are very happy with my decision making and everything. So many times I make a so much crucial decision. Other people were afraid in the department. They don't want to take the risk. But I say, no problem. I'm ready to resign. If I will do something wrong, I will go home. Don't worry. Yeah,
I
yeah,
hear.
I want to give the benefits. Yes. So,
Hmm.
so in this way, we are going to move and something like that one, and then we play our role and go from this art, from this world, and then whatever I wrote in my book, it is going to help the future generation.
Yeah.
So in that
I
way, they
hear.
can learn and then they can follow up and then they can arrange their success in the future life, how they are going to be a successful human being. The
That's
most
right.
important thing is a successful human being,
Yeah.
not as in a profession. If they are
Correct.
a good doctor in profession, they are making money. They don't care about the poor people or anything else.
Oh,
Right. If you will, third world country, if you will go to appendix operation, the hospital first, they say, okay, give me that amount of money first, and then they will start treating the patient. And the patient is going to die because if they don't have money, from where they will arrange the money immediately under emergency
yeah.
circumstances.
Yeah.
So this thing needs to be corrected. There is a lot of things need to be addressed
Yeah.
to to make. And even though now I noticed that one, we are in a very good situation in this world. We have made a lot of progress, the scientists and people and doctors and all professions and everything. But we need a little bit more honesty and sincerity in the other countries also.
Yeah.
Here in the United States, we are very good situation. The most of the time we have a lot of things very good for the public and the people. And they are try to improve and learning slowly and gradually. So it
Yeah.
is also good as compared to the other country. But I want to see my country, United States of America, the topmost one, topmost in, not in the other sense, topmost in the humanity management. And what they say,
Yeah.
it can be managed everyone
That
at
would
their
be
mental,
nice.
educational level and doing equal justice for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
no injustice for anyone. And then feeling the pain and tender of anyone who is having any suffering in their life and
Yeah.
ready to help. And as a whole humanity and community, we have to have some kind of sympathy and helping attitude for the other people and
Definitely.
try to understand. And in that way, you can win the heart of the and minds of the people, not the land of the countries.
Definitely. Wow. Wow. Well,
Right.
you said a mouthful. I'm loving it. I'm loving what you've done. You've continued to write your books, continue to give, 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 give. And that is just a wonderful thing. So you have global political leadership and the public, because you are the public, and we do have global leadership that's kind of faltering right now. I
Right.
agree with you on that. Where can
Right.
people find your book?
Yeah, it's at Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and electronic version ebook is available. And the hard copy and soft cover copy, maybe in next 2 weeks, it will be available.
Awesome.
And my all interviews and everything at the YouTube channel,
Yes,
Salar
I saw
Khan
that.
Book YouTube channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my web page also for last 2 years, I didn't update my web page because I was waiting for all these book together and then we can rearrange my web page also and www.drsalarkhan.com. That is my web page. And then I'm writing my another book.
Mm.
As I told you, my talent. Another talent is Salar Khan's Kitchen, the art
Oh,
of
the
cooking.
cookbook. Okay, so
Yeah,
wait. What kind of food?
the food is delicious South Asian recipes,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
And
I love it.
and then in this book, I am going to teach the public, the people, the new chef who want to have a career or profession in future in the food industry or culinary industry or whatever. So that is how to balance the salt and spices.
Mm.
And according to my intellectual thinking, there is a one peak point where the salt and spices level match the top most perfect delicious taste. If anything little up or little down, it ruins the taste
Oh,
and odor and everything. So
wow.
it's a very delicate point. And I
Right.
learned and I found that delicate point because of my hidden talent, because of my hyper focus. When I do cooking or anything, I always concentrate and focus and I analyze myself each time.
Mm-hmm.
Why the taste change? What is the reason? What thing I added less or more? How I can balance the ratio of the salt and the spices.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, we are going to make a perfect, highly delicious food everybody love to eat. And then because of the COVID, you notice that a lot of people, they lost their taste.
Yeah.
And then that book is for them. I want to dedicate to them because they went through the worst part of their life. They
Mm.
are eating, but they don't have taste,
It
no
sucks.
smell, no smell. How miserable life for them at that time. Some people suffered 4 months, 3 months, and everything like that. And then I spoke with so many people, and they say that when they are eating, they feel that they are eating a rubber,
Mm.
tasteless. And how they pass that time, I can imagine, because I'm the food lover. I like food to eat and all and enjoy.
Yeah,
But how they pass that time frame, 3 months, 6 months, is really terrible for them.
I know. I know.
So, so in that way, we learn a lot of things. So this book will provide a lot of things for the learning point of view. And I want to train, because we have a lot of population, a lot of people they want to go, and then most of the restaurant, the people are untrained. They just start cooking something, and then they start working in the restaurant and here and there like that. Particularly in our culture, Pakistani and Indian and Asian culture, and they are not having any training or anything else. So ultimately, whatever they give, prepare the food and they give it to the public. Public eat it because they don't have any other choice. And my perspective is that because the public and me is spending money for buying the recipe of the food or all grain ingredients. So ultimately, if we will make it little effort to understand the science and other things with the food, so ultimately we can make a better food. So
Yeah.
everybody will enjoy it, even at home,
Hmm.
by
Yeah.
your own food. So
Yeah.
this is the book. I'm working on it, and
Okay.
I
When
just
you
give
get
you a
that,
little description.
okay, when you get that done, you let us know.
Oh, sure, sure, no problem. I
Awesome.
will. I
Okay. Well, I want to thank you, Dr. Salar, for being on the show again and for bringing your knowledge and your understanding and your book, Global Political Leadership and the Public. It's an essential guide to learn the necessary skills and mindset.
That's right.
I think you guys should check that out for yourselves. We're going to have the link in the description box below. Don't forget to dare to be different. And again, Dr. Salar, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me for this interview and very patiently listen my things and my ideas and my thought. And I'm sorry if any of my audience, because we are very frank in this interview. So we just say whatever we feel
Yeah,
and whatever I feel as the author.
there
And
you
it's
go.
not necessary that everybody will follow my opinion or accept my opinion. It is freedom. That is their freedom, what they feel, what they think about it. But
That's right.
what things give me benefits in my life and career, I want to see the public and the people in a same way, with the same progress and success in their life, in their career, and their career of their kids also. Because I have almost done my life, so the career is mainly for our future generation. I'm focusing on them to give them something good. So ultimately, they will not curse the old generation who is going through this world like me. So at least I try to give something from my part, whatever I earn and learn from my parents. And thank you so much for my parents who gave
Yeah.
me that one. And that's why in the book cover, I put one motto, and that is nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. That is given that one from my mother. When I was working with her, I was so much dedicated and hyper focused. And then I was doing some mistake. And then my mother was telling and reassuring me, Salar, don't worry. You are going to be perfect. But and make sure that nothing is impossible. And we saw the ability and talent in you, you can make it everything possible in your life and career. And that motivational word is still I'm carrying on. And it is every step helping me to more and more and progress and advance in my life and career. And really it was a very motivational. And think if some people they think about it, and for the young generation, the parents and mother, particularly the mother, telling the kids and boosting them and reassuring them. If the young kids they are falling down or something, don't angry on them. Just say nothing happened. Reassure you are good. You are going to do good. No problem. So in that way, they are not develop the shyness or they are not developing the fear that next time they will do it, they will be punished. And that thing is stuck in their subconscious mind in the early phases of the life. And ultimately, that fear of failure and fear of taking responsibility will be gone.
Mm,
And then it will be very hard. So it is the psychological aspect I'm telling. And
awesome.
that I noticed from my mother. So I'm very confident. I'm never worry. Even then, I have no money. I don't care. I'm happy. At least I'm eating 2 times, 3 times, 1 time, no problem. I'm very happy. The happiness in the heart keep you alive, keep you motivated, and always ready and try to do something extraordinary so the world can get benefit from me. And that is my assets in my career. And then I think that the people can follow my legacy also in future, who like
Definitely.
my ideology and my thinking. So thank you
Awesome.
so much. Thank you so much. Nice talking. And
No
thank you so
problem.
much.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys, bye.